Battlers, I am back. Welcome to another episode of the Knighted Podcast Roster Review Edition. Well, the Knights' regular season is about to come to an end with our greatest challenge yet, taking on the top place New Zealand Warriors at Go Media Stadium, a venue which we've only managed 8 wins in 24 appearances. Justin Holbrook will be looking for a much better performance after a pretty disappointing turnout in front of the Battlers and the Old Boys last week against Manly at home. Because if we turn up and play anything remotely like we did last week against this top 4 outfit, they're going to make pretty bloody easy work out of us. I'll tell you that much. Both supporter bases, however, coming into this game filled with positivity and enthusiasm as we have both locked up our respective final spots. However, there's so much more to play for in this game, as a victory for either team will all but guarantee their team a home game come round 1 of the finals series. So plenty to break down on this show tonight. Not only will we be taking a look at the teams that Justin Holbrook and Andrew Webster have named, we're going to take a look at our player battle matchup brought to you by the Metal Man, our grain-fed brewery lock-it-in prediction. Start firing those in, Battlers, as well as answering your get-out-of-life fire safety training burning questions. So, Battlers, sit back and get ready as we take a look at the Justin Holbrook outlook of our round 26 clash against the Waz, baby. Let's go! All right, Battlers. Now, tonight's show we're gonna start a little bit differently. I want to dedicate this opening segment to a battler, Jesse Newton, who's currently battling cancer at the moment. Now, earlier today, Jesse's mum reached out to me and she told me the one person Jesse wanted to speak to more than anyone was your boy Link here. And honestly, that means more than I could put into words, mate. And she also told me that listening to this podcast every week has helped Jesse through an incredibly difficult time. And and Jesse, I know we call ourselves the Battlers around here, pal, and that's exactly what we need you to keep doing, brother. Keep fighting. There's a hell of a lot of people here, mate, who are thinking about you, and a whole bunch of people, pal, that you don't even know, who are right behind you and are hoping and praying for you, brother.
Got a message from Christopher here. A special shout out to Battler Jesse, who is going through a tough fight. The Battler family is with you, mate.
On you, Chris. Now, look, I know you can't wait to have a chat with me, mate, and I cannot wait, brother, to get on the phone and have a yarn with your pal. So we're going to talk Knights, footy, talk shit, talk about whatever you want, pal. So look, mate, from myself, Lou, all the Battlers tuning in, all the WAR supporters, I know they gather in here, mate. Keep fighting, brother. Keep on battling. We're thinking of you. We're right behind you. And, can't wait to get on the phone, mate, and have a chat with you, mate. So this one goes out to you, Jesse. Good on you, pal.
I've got a voicemail to play from Justin.
On you, Justin.
G'day, Link, Lou, and fellow battlers. Well, it's a wet, dreary old Tuesday afternoon here on Teamless Tuesday, and things in life really can come along and make you take stock of what you've got and how good you've got it. I saw a post on Facebook about Jesse who wants to meet Link, and I really just wanted to give Jesse a shout out. Just sending all my love, positive thoughts and prayers to Jesse and his family. As they're going through a tough time with cancer and all that. And to Jesse and his family, just know you've got the whole support, the Knighted crew behind you. So, yeah, just keep battling, mate. Just keep going. We've got your back. We've got you covered, mate. Definitely a worthy recipient of a chew on that being dedicated to him. So go, Jesse, you legend.
On you, Justin. Appreciate that, pal. Appreciate it, mate. So we're going to be chewing on that tomorrow, Jesse and I on the phone, mate. So if you're going to chew on something elite. Good mates of ours, Beach Jerky. Great sponsors, been with us all throughout the year. Cannot thank them enough for their continued support. So get around the sponsors that support us, battlers, beachjerky.net.au. Go get your game day fuel. And yeah, Jesse, this one goes out to you, pal. All right, let's do it. Let's dive into the night of news, shall we?
It's the night of news.
All right, battlers, only a little bit of night of news this week. Now, don't get your knickers in a bunch. Don't hit the panic button. Don't fret. Now, as you would have seen the team list named today, Phoenix Crossland has been admitted and have been admitted for a reason. Our boy Phoenix Crossland undergoing surgery on his meniscus in his knee. And now this is all the strategies. The Knights hoping to have him obviously back for that finals game in 3 weeks' time. So, look, certainly not out of the realm of possibility he's going to make his return in 3 weeks. Believe it or not, Kurt Gidley had the exact same procedure done and managed to get that turned around in 3 week time span. There's been a string of other players. So it would be equal that of the quickest turnarounds as NRL Physio put out today. So, yeah, I'm sure under all the medical advice in the world, they've made this decision, and I think it's a good one. We're afforded the ability now. We've got our final spot. We've got the buy up our sleeve. So, yeah, hopefully the procedure goes really, really well. Phoenix Crossland back on his feet before you know it and ready to rock come finals time, battlers. So there you go. That's all the night in news for this week. Now let's dive head first in the teams that Justin Holbrook and Andrew Webster have named for this round 26 clash. Now, I'm going to preface this preview tonight. Now, you guys know, and I know the WA supporters get in here. You love it. Okay, we've got a thing. You know, I would like to think that in the event of one of our teams might be featuring in finals football, I would expect either the Battlers to jump on the WA's bandwagon and for that to be reciprocated. So can we just put that out there? Because there's going to be a hell of a lot of glazing on this Warriors outfit. There is a very good reason why this Warriors team finds themselves at the tippity top of the ladder. Given all the injuries that they've gone through, this team means business, and they have well and truly earned their spot on top of the NRL ladder at this end of the season. It's been absolutely remarkable. So I'm just going to preface that. Plenty of stats thrown your way. And it's going to be a lot of glazing that of the Wars, but it's just going to prove of what kind of team we're going to go up against this week. And that's a good thing, because I think it's going to be a good yardstick to go where we're going to be at. Where we're going to be at against the, let's be honest, the best of the best. So, full warning, all right? You've been warned. There's going to be a little bit of glazing on that of the Wars, and I'm sure the Wars supporters are going to love it. They're going to eat this up with a spoon. All right, let's do it. Kicking it off. The spine for the Newcastle Knights, our captain, Skip. He's back once more at fullback with Fletcher Razor Sharp, pairing up with Sandon Smith at halfback, and hooker Harrison Graham promoted from the bench into that dummy half role, obviously coming in for Phoenix Crossland, undergoing that knee surgery. Moving across to our opposition with Tane Tuapiki at fullback. Chanel Harris-Tavita finds himself back at 5/8 once more, now with Tamare Martin returning this week after a hamstring injury, and Wade Egan at dummy half for the Wars. Now, here we go. My notes are filled to the brim. I've never seen so many fucking numbers in my life looking at this. Now, this gives you an idea of what we're coming up against, battlers, what we're going to be up against this week. Now, shout out to Andrew Webster. Now, I think our boy Justin Holbrook well and truly has earned Coach of the Year. All right, now that's not to take anything away from Andrew Webster. If there's going to be a silver medal, it's going to go to Andrew Webster. Shout out to him. The best winning record of any Warriors coach thus far, 56% win record in 106 games, which is absolutely remarkable. Now, for the Warriors, they have the most points scored in the competition thus far after 25 rounds of football with 651 points scored. The Knights are too bad. We're sitting 6th with 601. So they've scored an extra 50 points on us in those 20-odd games. Now, they have won 13 games by 13 plus. Keep that in mind. 13 games they've won by 13 plus. The Knights, we've only managed to do that 5 times. You know, there was a long span there. We were either narrowly beaten or we were narrowly winning. But the Wars, they can score points and they can score them quick. Obviously, the most tries with 113 scored. The Knights coming into this game 3rd overall in the competition with 108. The Wars equal first in possession percentage with 52%, equal first in set completion with 83%. Compared to that of us, we're 15th. We're well and truly down the bottom with 77%, second worst in the comp. So you've got a team that's the best. They're completing the highest at 83. We're well and truly down the bottom. There's only one team worse than us. We're sitting second worst in the comp, 77%. It's been a bit of an Achilles heel. It just goes to show if we clean up the fundamentals and hold on to the football and complete a bit higher, where's the ceiling on this football team? Because you're seeing when the Wars are doing that, they put themselves in a position where they're at the top of the ladder. That's probably the biggest difference I would say in these two teams coming into this game. They have the second least amount of errors in the comp with 228. How many times have we said it on this show? If there was one thing we're wanting to try and get down below sub 10, 9, 8 errors per game. Well, I tell you what, yeah, the Wars second least. The Knights have the fourth most errors with 286. So an extra 40 errors over the competition this year. The Knights have the most handling errors in the comp after 25 rounds, I should say. The Warriors have the third least. So just goes to show those fundamental footballs. That's what the Wars are doing very, very, very well. They're not beating themselves. They're not turning over the ball cheaply. They're completing high. They're making very little errors. And then on the back of that, they've scored more points than anyone. So, and you know what I'm saying, we're going to get to their defense. I have to spread out these statistics from the Wars. That's only the attacking side. We're going to get to the defensive side in a minute, but that just goes to show you, lumping this sort of in with the spine at the moment. We just had to kick off the show. This is just maybe not too many people realize just how goddamn well the Warriors are going, considering that they had their star halfback Tanner Boyd, which I had the unfortunate. Well, you were there with me too, Lou. Magic round. Tanner Boyd goes down with that, ACL injury like our boy Dylan Brand did, and you're thinking, oh boy, where are the Wars at here? Then Luke Metcalf comes in. He's done a bloody hamstring. He's had his rotten luck with injury as well. Jackson Ford's been out. They've been absolutely smacked with injury sticks. So again, a lot of synergy between the Wars and us when it comes to the big injuries, but they just keep getting the job done. It just goes to show the coaching, the structures, the junior pathways, and kind of alludes to what I was saying about Peter O'Sullivan, who was in the building over there a few years ago. All right, and look at the mark he's left there, and we're sort of seeing similar things with our club already after his short time with us. Same with the Dolphins. Look where they are at this end of the season. So a lot of synergy between those clubs, and no coincidence that Peter O'Sullivan sort of spent time in each of those clubs. So just goes to show you they've been absolutely incredible this game. Tane Tuipuiki, leading tackle breaker for the Wars, coming into this game. Pretty handy fullback. Obviously, Chanel Harris-Tavita still suspended. I believe he's back next week. But shit, you're certainly not missing much with having Tuipuiki coming back there. Kalen Ponga, 10th in the NRL for line break assists. Sandown Smith, this one might surprise a lot of you battlers, 3rd in the NRL for line break assists. So creating plenty of opportunities for the Knights. One thing we have been really good at is the tackle breaking, line breaking, all that kind of stuff. Sandon, I know he might have had his best outing last week, but there's no denying he sets up plenty of opportunities when he gets nice and deep and engages the line. That's another really good statistic for him too. Nice to, like all the good halfbacks, puts himself in the position, gets nice and deep, gives his men inside and out of him opportunities. Harrison Graham, didn't get to see a lot of him last week or a couple of previous weeks, but when he has been called upon in the only one other game that I can think of off the top of my head that Phoenix Crossland didn't play in earlier this year. Done a really good job. Really, really good job. When he's, we all know what he's done earlier in the season when he's been interjected off to the bench. Justin Holbrook, sort of bit of a masterclass on pulling the trigger on Harrison Graham at times and around some tight middles and would sort of pay dividends for us. So going to be interesting what he can do against this team, against a really good forward pack in the washing machine through the middle at Go Media Stadium. It's going to be a real test for Harrison Graham. So looking forward to see what he can do there as well. And his opposition to Wade Egan, absolute gun. He was a guy that I thought when he was at the Panthers, I thought here's a guy that's probably reached his limit. He left. Did he win a comp with? I'm trying to remember. Did Wade Egan win a competition with the Panthers? 10 points to the first battler or WA support. I know you're in there. Can let me know. I'm trying to remember when did he leave the Panthers? Did he win a comp before he left or not? Anyways, regardless, I thought his guy, it's going to leave the Panther system, isn't going to kick on, but boy, was I wrong. Unlucky probably not to get a representative jersey at this point. Probably injuries have kept him away from playing some rep footy, but absolute gun. And same with Tamari Martin. You know, talk about next man up mentality. The number 7 jersey for the Warriors speaks volumes to that. Like here, they're basically on their 3rd string halfback, I would say, when you got the likes of Luke Metcalf and Tanner Boyd that are out. And you look at those statistics that they're posting up. Tanner Boyd's been out for a minute. Luke Metcalf, he's had his injury stuff as well. So incredible team. I don't know what to say. We have our work cut out for us. We really, really do. But again, I'm really interested to see how we go up against one of the competition heavyweights. I'll say that much. All right, let's move along to the outside back, shall we? With our boy Fletcher Hunt coming in. Obviously, Dominic Young picked up that grade 2 dangerous contact charge last week.
Sorry to interrupt you, Lincoln. He left the year they won.
There you go. So he's got a premiership to his name.
Thanks,
nice.
Adam.
Thanks, Adam. 10 points to you, pal. Fletcher Hunt coming in on the right wing there with our boy Dane Gagai. He's back from that hamstring injury. To be honest, a little bit surprised with that. But yeah, sorry. Bradman Best and Greggy Marzu. Can he let me know? It's going to take a Hattie this weekend, but can he either equal or if he can get 4 tries, which would be unbelievable, beat Dominic Young's 25 tries in a regular season, breaking the Knights' single season try scoring record. It's going to take at least a Hattie to equal it. Do you think he can get there? It's going to be an almighty task. Moving across to the Wars with Khan Pereira and Leka Haliasima, the man that literally ripped my heart, as well as all of you guys, out of our asses last year. So thanks, Leka. Ali Latawa also on the right edge, and Luke La'i'i coming in for Dallin Wateni Zalesniak. Did you see Dallin, their boy DWZ, broke his collarbone and somehow still managed to stay on the field to score a try?
Absolute weapon.
What a weapon. Fucking Jesus. That's I'm sorry, Battlers. It might sound like a bit of a WAS podcast tonight. I certainly don't mean it to sound that way. I'm just preparing us for what we are facing this weekend. But look, DWZ a big out for them. Their leading try scorer for the WAS, 21 tries, 6 in the competition. Really unfortunate with that broken collarbone for the WAS, but yeah. Sorry, did I get that right? Yeah, sorry. With his replacement, Luke La'i'i, this will be his 9th NRL game and his first since round 11. So going to be interesting what he can bring there. But let's do it. While we're on the outside backs, let's take a look at this week's player battle matchup brought to you by our good mates at the Medal Man, because every single battle deserves a medal. Now, at the Medal Man, they specialise in high-quality custom medals and awards for sporting clubs with competitive pricing, fast turnaround, and that friendly local service that you just love. From the junior carnivals all the way to the grand final, they will help recognise every single achievement and style. The Medal Man, where every single win deserves recognition. Now, let's take a look at this week's battle. And here we are. I've got the old bull up against the young calf. Dane Gagai up against Lekia Haliasima. Now, we know last weekend the right edge in particular defensively was quite poor. Wasn't great, discombobulated, disjointed. It wasn't pretty to see. So we're hoping with the return of that of Dane Gagai in his final regular season game as a Newcastle Knight shores up a bit of that, because we know what this man can do to our football team. He can absolutely devastate us in the worst possible ways. I still have nightmares about this man. Whatever this man's name is whispered in this bar, I still get cold sweats. So very much looking forward to Dane Gagai shutting this man down. We cannot let Leka Haliasima relive the glory that he had upon us late last year. Don't want that to happen again. Sorry, Waz. He's had his fun with us. No more. You remember that, Lou? The Voice of Mining round, that went absolutely gangbusters with all the went viral over in New Zealand. As I imagine, they would have eaten it up. Here's this bloke in a hard hat just losing his shit.
Yeah, it went viral.
Oh, man, I refuse to watch the end of that game. I literally witnessed it once, and that's it. Never again. I'd imagine it's very similar to that of, well, I couldn't even imagine. I shouldn't say very similar to that of losing a grand final. I couldn't even imagine what that would feel like. But that was certainly, Leke Halasima essentially was the death nail in our coffin. Once we lost that game, we fell off a cliff. We weren't even remotely close to winning another football game and ended up winning a spoon. So thanks, Leke. As I get back to my notes right here, obviously Fletcher Hunt on that right wing there. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think with our boy Fletcher Hunt there. Obviously, your Titanium Forge Player of the Week last week, controversially, I should say. People either one side of the fence or the other. I'm more than happy for Fletcher Hunt to keep doing what he's doing on that, on the right wing there. Obviously, aerial threat for days. And I think, moving forward into 2027, he's going to be on that right edge. He's in the box seat. I know you got Toby Winters sort of lurking around. Could be a bit of a smoky to get that spot, but let's hope our boy Fletcher Hunt has a really, really good performance. Left edge, we didn't get to see much of the left edge. We had the return of Bradman Best last week after being admitted a couple of times there with that calf injury, I believe it was. And Greggy Margie obviously bagged a try off the back of a beautiful kick by Razor Sharp, but let's hope he picks up a few more. I'd love to see him at least equal it, because if you remember in 2023, he actually broke Tamana Tahu's record. It's just, unfortunately for him, he had a throbbing Dominic Young who just went even a bit better. So he technically had two blokes that broke the odd record. It's just that Dom outdid him by a few more. So it'd be nice to see him at least equal it. I'm sure Dom is gracious enough, and Sue has raised him well enough to share that. I don't think he'd be... I don't think he is selfish enough to claim that one for himself. So, all right, now, this is where we get to the defensive side of things for the Wars. Strap yourselves in. Now, the Wars have conceded 356 points thus far in the competition. That's 189 points less than the Knights, an average of 8.5 points per game average less than the Knights, which is pretty nuts. Only conceding 2.9 tries per game compared to us at 4.3 per game. Now, in rounds 4 and 5, they conceded the most amount of points with 32 points to the Tigers and 36 of the Sharks. That was round 4 and 5. That was a long time ago. A long, long time ago. When's that? April? Something like that? A couple of weeks ago. Don't know what was happening around the Wars. It might have been a perfectly good kind of explanation as to why they sort of leaked a bunch of points, but certainly very unusual. Since then, I think 26 points is maybe the most they've conceded in a game, which is pretty bloody remarkable. They're sixth best in the league at missed tackles, second best at conceding run meters. So they concede the second least amount of run meters, and they're the third best at conceding post-contact meters. And coincidentally, we are 15th in the league for post-contact meters. So then, the Wars, third best at conceding them, and we're second worst at actually getting them. So you would expect that if that trend continues, not a lot of post-contact meters coming in the way of the Knights. So it just goes to show you the amount of work they're doing in attack, and then backing it up with some great defensive systems. Obviously, Andrew Webster dragging a lot of that stuff over. I can't remember, was he the attacking coach or defensive coach? But the Panthers, 10 points to the first person who can explain that one to me. But just all round, barring injuries, they haven't even let that being a mitigating circumstance to their season. They're missing some absolute weapons, but they just continue to turn up. As I said before, they're getting the fundamentals right on either side, in attack and in defense, and they've absolutely earned the right to find themselves at the tippity top of the ladder, much to Hainsey's despair. I don't know if you saw, Lou. Hainsey's tagged us in a bunch of stuff. He's like, you guys better beat the Wars. He wants that minor premiership. He wants it locked up.
I saw his post-game show. He looked very deflated, didn't he?
He did. He looked very, very well. I know. You'd be disappointed. You'd be disappointed, but let's be honest. You're going to get a top 4 spot, Hainsey. Chill out, pal. Chill out. But he was actually, I was saying, he's the only person I met. Now, I hope I don't throw you under the bus here, Hainsey, and all the WAR supporters go find you out, pal. But he was sort of like, he would think the WAR supporters would be the most obnoxious if they were to win a grand final. Because I was speaking to him on the phone earlier this week, and I'm like, mate, honestly, if the Knights don't win it, I want the Wars to get it. And he's like, no way. Can you imagine how obnoxious they'll be? I said, bro, it'd be great for the game. They've earned one. It'd be incredible. They already go bananas now. You can throw them a premiership. Oh.
The only thing that I wish I got to see when we were at Magic Round was the walk down the Caxton Street where you couldn't see them because we were playing then.
Yeah, you're right. So all the Knight supporters, we missed out on that huge march because, you guys were playing directly after us. So we were already at Suncorp because I was hoping you were seeing that because, they make – for any of the battlers who haven't gone to Magic Round, I'm telling you, the Wires supporters make it. They really do. They that's why I was kind of – I would have loved to have gone to Vegas when the Wires supporters were there because it would have been – it was awesome as it was, don't get me wrong, but to have the Wires supporters there would have been particularly awesome.
There it is.
What?
Daniel said, fuck the Wires, we want it.
Of course we want it. Of course we want it. But I would like to think, mate, if the Wires do find themselves in a position where they are no longer in finals contention, and we are, I would like to think across the ditch, there's plenty of Wires supporters that are cheering us on, mate. I've done a lot of hard work to forge a great alliance, a great friendship, mate. So let's hope they reciprocate.
Here was one from earlier. Distracted said, if Wires fall off, I'm on the Knights bus.
On you, bro. That's the spirit. That's what I want to hear.
But then he said, but up the fucking
I wouldn't expect anything less, mate. I wouldn't expect anything less. All right, let's take a look at the forwards for the Newcastle Knights. Jermaine McEwen and Francis Manu-Leilua returns after delayed concussion systems ruled him out last week with our boy T-Money, Trey Mooney. Jacob Saifidi finds himself off the bench, back into the starting side with Matty Croker locking down the middle. Moving across to our opposition with Curdy Capewell and Jacob Laban in the second row with their captain, James Fisher-Harris. Ex-Knight himself, Mitchie Barnett in the front row with Aaron Clark in the 13 jersey for the Wars. Obviously, a massive inclusion with Francis Manu-Leilua. Has there been a rookie in the past month that's had more scintillating form than that man? I highly doubt it. Defensively, did you see that the content that the Knights put out with that local butcher about cutting something in half, and then all it was just footage of Francis just cutting blokes in half with sick tackles?
Oh, I saw the start of it, but then I had to go do producer stuff. So
I think that it was a guy trying to cut this massive bit of steak or whatever it was, a big slab of meat, and he can't cut it. And then they say, hey, Francis, cut this in half. And it's just all this footage of him cutting blokes in half.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
It was so good. So, unfortunately for you Wars supporters, Big Francis is returning back to New Zealand, back to his old stomping grounds, to rip and tear. He's been absolutely sensational. What a revelation. We're sitting here talking about, when we lost Dylan Brown and Dylan Lucas in the same game. It was terrible, but much like the Wars have been doing, we've been doing the same thing. When you got guys like Sandon Smith, Francis Manu-Leilua, Fletcher Hunt, guys are stepping up and doing a job. And Francis has just been an absolute revelation. Now, did I see somewhere, because I made the call that I would not at all be surprised. Again, I think I was the first, and maybe an SEN radio host who very much despises your boy Link publicly. If you remember, if you know, you know. I think he copied your boy's homework. I think it was a week or two later. He must have been tuning in. Because he went and said the same thing. Now, what I will say is I don't know, is he eligible for New Zealand? Because I swear he's New Zealand born. I swear he hails from Auckland, but he might be eligible for Samoa or Tonga. I'm not sure. If someone could clean that up for me, greatly appreciated. Drop it in the comments. Another 10 points to you guys. Obviously, Jacob Saifidi going to be better for the run last week after having a 6-week stint on the sideline. So going to be good to have more minutes into him before we get into the bye. And then obviously in the finals football, T-Money, who picked up my 3 points. I thought he was our best last week. 126 run meters, I believe, off the top of my head, off 11 runs. Defensively was really good. Most tackles, I believe, 37 tackles, 0 missed. What did I miss?
There you go.
Hey?
Look at that going, Lincoln.
Mate, I've been practicing, pal. I say it in my sleep, mate. Do you know sometimes I actually call my wife Manu-Leilua? I forget her name. I just call her that now, brother. So you're very welcome, mate. We're an educated, high IQ bunch here, mate.
For those listening on Spotify, Sam Manu-Leilua says the last name just rolls off the tongue perfectly now, doesn't it?
Nailed it, mate.
Hosea said, I've never heard an Aussie pronounce Francis Manu-Leilua correctly. Respect.
Well, we actually had someone reach out to us and say, they identified we were pronouncing it incorrectly, and we don't want to be doing that here. So I actually reached out to Francis himself, and kudos to the big dog. He actually did a voice memo and slowly went through it with me. And I must have played that thing a bajillion times and walked around my house and in this bar saying Mana Lalaua.
I was saying
But we got it.
I was annoying the girl at work. I just kept saying it over and over again.
Because what did we used to say, Manu Leilua? I
Manu
think it's
Lei-
because Joey Leilua,
Yeah.
the former Knights player, you used to saying Joey Leilua. So it just sort of, yeah, that was just kind of what we're saying. But appreciate that, mate. We like to educate, and everyone that I've spoken to now says it that way. So, you're very welcome, guys. You're very welcome. We've got to get these things right. Where am I at? I've seen some huge, big alpha dogs across at the Wars. James Fisher-Harris, we know what that guy's about. Absolute goddamn nightmare fuel. We've seen the visions of him in the haka for the Kiwis. Absolute menace. Now, double that, his partner in crime, absolute psychopath in Mitchie Barnett. We know what we had in Mitchie Barnett when he was with our club. Absolute gun. Unfortunately, going to be making his way to the Broncos, which stinks. I bet you he's regretting that decision now. But anyways, man, he's been, honestly, shout out to Mitchie Barnett because he was really good for us. He was the guy for a long time. I think he was an important piece that wasn't until he was gone. And we sort of realized afterwards, like, oh, we don't have that enforcer. You know, kind of like what Francis has done in his short time, just absolutely flattening dudes. We kind of didn't have that. Like, JSAF had little moments of that where he could absolutely come out and cream some blokes. DSAF kind of had that in him. But you know what I mean? It just wasn't that aura about him. Just this, you know, I'd imagine he would be the one guy in the forward pack you'd always keep your eye on because you just don't know. I know he kind of had that. I think it was round 3, 2022 when he just had that brain snap moment. Remember when he clocked, I can't remember the Panthers player, clocked him with the elbow, and it was just such a boneheaded play, and he obviously regretted it, picked up a huge suspension, which unfortunately was his last season with us. But, man, since 2023 going to the Wars, he's been absolutely sensational. It's going to be a big loss for them. I know he's coming back from that ACL injury. He's done a tremendous job for the New South Wales Blues. So, yeah, got two really experienced big dog, played the highest level, obviously both of them representative players. Aaron Clark's been another one. I remember sitting on here when we last did the roster review when we played the Wars. He's another guy who's been absolutely tremendous for him. I think another good player battle would honestly be between Aaron Clark and Matty Croker. Probably two really underrated forwards who don't get enough props. Aaron Clark probably get more and more of them now. But Matty Croker, I'm glad we cleared the air. And more people now, I'm seeing more messages coming in about Matty Croker, which is sensational. And as I told you, I had Daniel Saifidi reach out to me. He's like, brother, a lot of the good stuff coming off the back of the Knights is from Matty Croker work. So it might be the super highlighty kind of stuff. But when you really put eyes on him, he's been tremendous. Absolutely tremendous for us, Matty Croker. So another guy that's just fully bought into the Justin Holbrook system and having a really, really good season this year. So going to be a really good battle. A really, really good battle. So Trey Mooney and JSAF up against Fisher Harris and Mitchie Barnett. Bloody hook that into my veins. Very much looking forward to that. Yeah, very much looking forward. And then I said, throw Aaron Clark and Matty Croker in there. Good stuff. All right, let's move along to the bench, shall we, for the Newcastle Knights. Our boy, Tommy Cant. He picks up that 14 jersey. Obviously, Harrison Graham, he's in the starting spot. So Tommy Cant, who's filled in a dummy half on occasion for us, finds himself in that 14 jersey. Cody Hopwood and Lockie Crouch, the young promising forwards, with Pasami Saulo. He played New South Wales Cup last week, 54 minutes. I went and did the research for you. I was very keen to see why he didn't play first grade, but obviously played quite a few minutes in Cup last week. Toby Winter, our debutant from a couple of weeks ago, and Diesel Hagen, the promising young dummy half, still yet to make his debut, finds himself on that six-man bench. Moving across to the Wars, Sam Healy, his 19 NRL appearances this season, 26 thus far, a very highly touted dummy half, doing some good work for the Wars coming off the bench. Tanner Stow-Smith, the man that reminds me of Cyrus the Virus. Shout out Conair. Still probably has the most terrifying player picture I've ever seen in my life. If I'm going to be honest. All respect to you though, Tanner. Dimitri Varmolga. Eddie Edemir Toyava. Nailed it. Adam Pompey and Morgan Gannon round out the six-man interchange bench. For the Wars, obviously, Jet Cleary. I think there was a couple of Wars supporters maybe thinking Jet Cleary, maybe if Tamari Martin didn't come back from that hammy. Was Jet Cleary ever a chance of coming in playing there. I don't know. You guys let me know. But yeah, Morgan Gannon finds himself in there for that. Pasami Solo. I hope we get to see a bit more game time from Pasami. Before he got that foot injury, I believe it was before the Melbourne game. My memory serves me correctly. He was on a real heater, defensively really good. Great impact off the bench. Had a couple of starts there for the Knights. He was starting to really cook. You combine that with Lockie Crouch. Again, still early. He had a bit of a poor defensive read there on the right edge with all eyes on Tommy Turbo. Just the whole thing was a bit of a mess, but we're not going to hold that against Lockie Crouch because if you remember taking it against Keon Kolamatangi, I haven't forgot that, Lockie. It's still in my brain. Love that stuff. He's about it. And Cody Hopwood. So 3 really promising young forwards. We said on the show a couple of weeks ago that we give our flowers to the spine. They've been unbelievable. Our backs speak for themselves. The forwards, but the bench forwards, we finally gave our flowers to. They've been really, really good. Really good. So standing up, filling that void. We've had our injuries with Trey Mooney, obviously Jacob Saifidi, Pasami Solo. We've had to call on Lockie Crouch made his debut. Cody Hopwood's been given more and more opportunities after debuting last year under Adam O'Brien. Obviously, Mr. Nightani, Brodie Jones even coming into the mix as well. So, these guys rolling up their sleeves and getting the job done. So they've been really, really good. But I think equally on the flip side, as I was saying, this Sam Healy guy, bit of a revelation for that of the Wars. He's another guy that they've unearthed. I believe he's a Cronulla's junior. Bringing real good impact for the Wars, coming off the bench in that 14 jersey. So keep your eyes on maybe not a household name, Sam Healy, but guarantee you when he comes on the field, keep your eyes on him. Obviously, Diesel Hagen, I saw plenty of comments when I dropped the team list earlier today at 4 o'clock. A lot of battlers getting around. They want to see Diesel Hagen. They want to see Diesel. They want to see a Hagen play for the Knights once more. Not since the great Michael Hagen played for our club have we seen a Hagen don the Knights jersey and run on the football field. Much like our boy Toby Winter, Diesel Hagen, been spoken about for a while. He's been a guy whose name's been thrown around for a while. So if that is to be the case, I would only imagine it would be through injury. I think you'd find Tommy Kent would step up into that dummy half role. I could be wrong. But it's nice to carry these guys. And again, silver lining areas, these young guys always stand up and do a good job. But again, very evenly matched. So what I would say about the Knights coming into this game, more of the pressure is going to be that on the Wars. Let's be honest. They are heavily back favourites. As I said earlier, we've only won 8 games in the 24 appearances in Auckland. So haven't got, I think, a 33% record off the top of my head, if my math is mathing. So all the pressure is going to be that on the Wars. But what I would say is both these teams, if I'm going to be completely honest, have pressure doesn't sort of seem to get to them. And particularly if they've had a bad performance. As I said before, the Wars had a bit of a rough patch there and ran, I think, 5, 6, something like that. Just got straight back to it. Same with the Knights. We've had a poor performance. We get back on it. Nothing seems to scar these teams. They sort of just take their lessons, learn from them. It is what it is. Move on. And that's what makes both these teams so interesting. There's a lot of kudos to both Justin Holbrook and Andrew Webster. I believe the 2 best coaches, I shouldn't say the 2 best because there's some really good coaches, but standout coaches for this year have to go to these 2 guys for me. Given the circumstances they went to into this season, what they've gone through in the season, where they find themselves currently in the season, it'd be very hard not to have these 2 guys at the tippity top of that list for me. But all the pressure is going to be down the Wars. But I'm really looking forward to this game. And you always want to win football games. You're in the business of winning football games, and we want that home semi. And as I said on the Match Rewind show, Justin Holbrook was asked, look, do you want that home semi? Well, he's like, well, of course you want the home semi, but I'll tell you what, we played excellent on the road. And I don't think any of us are sitting here thinking, if we don't get the home semi, we're flawed. We're not going to get it because there's been plenty of great performances we've had away from Newcastle. Selfishly, we just want to re-experience the 2023 finals once more. I want to get down there to Newey in a couple of weeks' time and experience all that again. Football is better when Newcastle gets a home semi. Same with that of the Wars. I hope we both get to live that dream. Can we just get a draw, maybe? Can we just get a draw? No suspensions, no injury. Does that work? I don't know. But anyways, even if we do lose this game, I think coming into the bye, it's going to be good. I think we'll take a lot from it. We don't want a really poor loss, obviously, than what we saw from Manly. but it's going to be a good yardstick. That's what I'm really, really looking for. I think going against the team that's ranked number 1, coming into a bye before coming to the finals is a really good thing. I think it's better than that, than sort of rolling up to the Broncos or the Dragons or the Titans and just running muck on them. I'd like to see us go toe to toe with a really good team. And yeah, I think it'll do us better come finals time, because they're the teams you're going to be playing against. You're not going to be playing against bottom feeders, are you, come the business end of the season? So there you go. That'll wrap up the preview for what will be a pretty epic game that I'm certainly looking forward to. As I said, on the Knights Watch, we'll have Rob from Ruin Hammer. So for all you WA supporters, you can have one of your content creators in here with me as well. I believe we might have a special guest, Tiger supporter, who's going to sit there and cry and go, what does it feel like, boys, to play finals? What's this about? This is weird.
Yeah.
So
I have another friend.
Hey?
Special little guest appearance.
Who's that?
Oh, the Tiger supporter.
Oh, the Tigers. Yeah. So, yeah, he probably, I don't know if he'll say much. He'll probably just be sitting there going, God, I wish I could experience this. I feel for Tiger supporters. I really do. Anyways, is there anything about, have you pinned anything that I might have missed that someone wants to go over, or have I pretty much prepared people for what we are going to be expecting?
Matthew said, I'm most excited about this game is the forward battle.
Yeah.
What he's most excited about.
Yeah, 100%. A shame that DWZ obviously injured for the Wars, Dominic Young. So both the point scoring machines for either side. I'm going to feature in this game, obviously, DWZ for the remainder of the season, which is super unfortunate for them. But yeah, the battle in the middles, as I said, Trey Mooney and JSAF up against James Fisher-Harris and Mitchie Barnett. It's going to be good stuff.
Angel
Good stuff.
said, it's so hard being a Knight supporter in New Zealand. Hope there's some battlers coming over.
Oh,
now,
good.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Angel is friends with Rory.
Oh, are you? Shout out to Rory.
I think so.
Shout out Rory.
We didn't get to meet at Magic Round.
No, we didn't, did we? We did not. Yeah, she's a gun. Love the signs. I saw the one. What was the one she did for the
Knights?
Was it a Ponga one? I'm trying to remember now.
Ponga and a Pukana. I'm going to butcher that.
Yeah. I think she subtly hinted that she's going to be jumping on the Knights bandwagon, if I'm going to be honest. What I will say is, yeah, when I went to Christchurch, certainly wasn't many Knights supporters that I did see, particularly at the ground, but the WA supporters were so good. Let's be honest. I went to that Christchurch game. I can't remember what the capacity was. 20,000, something like that. Not one dickhead. Not one. I go to Suncorp Stadium. There's a dickhead sitting like 20 metres from me. And I was in the night section. So this goes to show you the vast difference between Broncos supporters at Suncorp Stadium and WA supporters over in Christchurch.
And you know what I'm like? A nervous wreck when you go places.
Didn't need
I
to
was
be.
just like, thank God it wasn't the Bulldogs. I didn't even like register in my brain.
Yeah, no, it was so good. It was the best. It was so fun.
I knew you'd be safe.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good, even though we lost, whatever. It was just fun. It was a good time. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
George has sent $9 New Zealand. Warriors fan. Hope it's a great game. Love the Knights.
Thanks, George. Appreciate that, mate. We love you too. This is just a nice gentlemanly game. Let's hope we come out of this unscathed, no suspensions, and we just look forward to finals. Who knows? We may play each other in finals again. I know you ended our finals dream in 2023 when we were on a real heater. You guys ended our 10-game win streak, but you had almost Dally M winning Sean Johnson. Kicking it there. So I know we got the Dally M off you.
Giggity.
So yeah. I think you almost love Sean Johnson more than Kalen Ponga. It's pretty close for Louise. Pretty close. Hard to argue with that. Hard to argue. He's a weapon. On and off the field. Anyways. All right, let's do it, Ballas. Let's answer your burning questions.
Aren't we doing lock it in?
Oh shit, lock it in. What am I doing? Oh my God, I'm out of form. Fucking too busy casting. Of course, it's time to lock it in with our good mates at Grain Fed Brewery. Whether you're backing the boys for a big win or predicting a masterclass from your favourite player, make sure you have a cold Grain Fed in hand. Bold flavours, bold predictions, lock it in with Grain Fed. All right, lock it in. I've got our skip, Kalen Ponga, anytime try scorer. Hasn't been at the peak of his powers the last couple of weeks. That's all going to change. That's all going to change over in New Zealand. Lock our boy in for a try. I got our boy Fletcher Hunt, one of the Flow Bros, running for 180 of the best. I think on the right edge, we looked really nice. So I'm hoping that trend might continue against the Wars over there. I got Brady Best for 2 line breaks. I want to see that man in open space. It's a glorious sight. Lock that in, baby. Knights, we have to complete at least 85%. I read you out the statistics of that of the Wars. On average, they're completing at 83%. We're at 77. Got to fix that shit up. Where any chance of remotely going toe-to-toe with this team, we've got to complete at 85%. And that means we're making sub-10 errors. Bring it back to 9. We got to 8 a couple of games, which was sensational. Let's get it back to there. Respectfully, WAR supporters, cover your ears. I've got us a 1 to 12 job. Certainly not going to be a 13-plus affair.
Sorry,
And I've got to score it first.
to read this. Brenton said Link was glazing the Warriors too much and forgot look at
I did. This is why I had to put the public service announcement before the episode, just so you knew what you're getting into. You can't come into this game going, Link, I didn't see this coming. You were fully warned how good this Warriors team was. All right. So when we can't sit back and tune in, this is why we're a high-educated bunch. Your boys done these homework, so you're prepared for what's to come.
Sorry, what was your last thing?
I had the Knights to score first. So getting back to those areas, I know the Seagulls got a dirty forward pass try on us in the opening minutes. Prior to that, though, we were hitting the punching teams in the face pretty early, scoring points within the first couple of minutes. So lock it in. All right, lock it in. Payback's a bitch, Justin reckons. All right, G-Train Hattie. Oh, he's going to equal that of Dominic Young's great 25 tries in a single season. Sandon Smith to score a double. Ooh, cooking it up, Sandon. Knights have sub-9 errors with you there, pal. 80% completion rate. Knights score last. Knights 13+. Wow. Justin. Geez, that would be a statement before heading into finals. Catfall Gags to swap jerseys with Kurt Capewell. Shit, I forgot about Gags. Curdy Capewell, or I would honestly, I'd go James Fisher-Harris. Kiwi, obviously Kiwi legend, skipper, won 4 comps. 3? No, did he win the 4 comps with them? I can't remember now. They won that fucking many. I can't remember who's played for them. Multiple premiership winner. Let's say that much. I think it's going to be James Fisher-Harris for me. That's who Gags is going to swap jerseys with. All right, what have we got? What have we got here? Wars fan here. Because we're all at home, I'll go 13+ to us. But best of luck, my bro. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Well, I'll tell you what I said. We don't come in with our head screwed on and have that really passive defense that we saw last week. It's going to get ugly bloody quick if the Seagulls under this horrible Fosball after 6 straight losses. You guys on a 4-game win streak, on a real heater, got a bit of form about you. Scoring more points than anyone else in the competition. I'll tell you what, yeah, it's going to be pretty ugly. All right, lock it in. Worry Wars. Jeez. Lethal left edge trilogy. Trifest. Harrison to create spark up the middle from dummy half. Francis and Lecker for more tries scored. Link to do Pulkana on the live. What is that exactly? Can someone educate me on what that is? Do you know what that is, Lou?
I don't know.
Can someone let me know what that is? Am I allowed to do one? I don't want to be disrespectful. That was a good one, though. Give me that. Christopher, what do you got, big dog? Hunt, anytime try scorer. Haliasima, anytime try scorer. You're going to bring back a bit of PTSD on your boy Link. Knights between 1,700 and 1,800 run meters. Knights 9 to 10 offloads. Knights 1 to 12. Knights score last. Gags to swap jerseys with Fisher-Harris. Love it. Love it. And for all you lock it in players too, through our Patreon page, which I forgot to plug earlier. Didn't I, Lou? I just remembered that. Anyways, yeah, going to be the winner announced very soon in the coming weeks. Pete, lock it in. Category 1. KP to split first receiver duties 50-50 or 60-40 with Sandon. KP training for finals when he one-ups his main rival Cleary. Hunt 2 tries. Marzu 3. Everyone jumping on the Marzu Hattie. Frankie to be our version of Lecker and do a Lecker taunt back towards the wires. He would do that too. He would do that. He's about that. 100%. Yeah, he would do that back to him, respectfully. Jordan, what do you got, brother? Lock it in. KP, 2 try assists. Graham for a try. JSAF and Moons for 100+ run meters each. Highlight play for Hunt in the corner, jumping over his opposition winger. Bonus, the KO live stream to be very blurry for the start of the Souths game. Or is that because someone's crying?
Jairo.
Oh, of course. Of course. Sorry. Yes. We'll get to that in the burning questions. Yes. Yes. That's a great lock. That's going to happen. There's going to be plenty of blurry visions there. Paddy. Yeah, handsome dog. What do you got? KP brings back the 23 powers and leads us to a 76th minute game winner. Marzu try. Mooney and Saf to rip in and Knights 28-24. Mate, you write poetry, Paddy. Do you know that? You write absolute poetry, mate. All right. Andrew, what do you got, big dog? Knights win 1-12. And don't say them till second week finals and Knights win 1-12 again. Oh, sorry, we don't play them until second week of the finals. And what? Shit. We enact our revenge. Well, they did beat us early in the year. Do you reckon we're going to go back to back on them again, mate? Ooh, we'll be really straining that alliance, I think. Here we go. What have we got here? When you make your eyes big and stick out your tongue, right, your scariest face you can make. Jimmy Maloney does is it Pulkana? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Weekly on his podcast. Right. Okay.
That's what they do after the haka.
Gotcha. Noted. There you go. See, we're a high IQ bunch. You never stop learning, battlers.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Reese. Was 42-10. Brother. Oh, we're friends here, mate.
Watch this, Lise. This is the moment Lincoln's heart rips in half.
Yeah, far out, pal. I have Rob doing cartwheels next to me here on the lounge, bud. 42-10. Ouch. Is that it? We're just going to end on that note. Is that it? You were just saving that one right till the very end. So much positivity for Reese just robbed that on me. Nice one, Reese. On you, pal. All right, let's do it. Let's answer some burning questions.
Burning questions.
All right, battlers, when you work in a business, you need to be prepared for fire and or emergency. So make sure you get in contact with Get Out Alive Fire Safety Training. For your training, your plans, procedures. Because if you don't learn, you're going to burn. All right, let's answer some questions. Let's put out some fires, shall we?
I'll start with a voicemail.
Oh, who we got a voicemail from? Who we got?
Brandon.
Brandon, you mad dog. What do you got for me,
Hey,
Cal?
Lincoln Lou, hypothetical king, Brandon here. Looking forward to the roster preview show. The one thing I'm hoping for is it's a good, solid stint for Diesel Hagen. Hopefully he can get on the field. I'd love to see him show his craft.
Absolutely, pal.
Got a quick question for you. Just interested, what are some of your guys' favorite movies and TV shows, like past and present? Just wondering what your favorite. My favorite would have to probably be big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen a show called Outer Banks.
Outer Banks.
That's really good. They just finished their final season recently. Thanks, guys. Have a good show. Goodbye.
On you, Brandon. Appreciate it, mate.
I think my cousins just finished Outer Banks.
What's that on?
Netflix.
Is it? See, the problem is, Brandon, we get zero time to watch much TV here, mate.
Used to.
We used to watch a lot of TV, but this podcast rules our life in the best kind of way. We're not complaining whatsoever. We love delivering you guys quality shows every week. Now, do you know what I'm a big fan of? I loved it. I love Scrubs. Old Scrubs. They got the new Scrubs, which I haven't finished watching. I think it debuted the day I was flying out to Vegas. I love Scrubs. Criminally underrated show. Super funny. Give me Scrubs. Man, I'm a big fantasy buffet. Like, I love Lord of the Rings gets a watch, like Lord of the Rings Hobbit every year at wintertime. That gets a run.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. That's more of a family thing. We sort of get around Harry Potter. Star Wars. Love Star Wars. I was a massive Star Wars nerd as a kid. Still got all my Star Wars toys and that.
Avengers movies.
Yeah, haven't watched those for a while though, have we?
Oh.
Since like Endgame, we kind of haven't kept up. Watched like Loki and stuff, haven't we? But there's so many of them now. We
loved Loki.
There's so many.
That was a good series.
Like, we haven't watched the new Spider-Man. Oh, that's only literally just come out. Or the Fantastic Four one. So we've got a bit to catch up because I'm really looking forward to Avengers Doomsday. That's getting back to those areas.
I'm trying to get Lincoln to watch Outlander.
I started watching that one with you. That was a while ago though. Hey.
Yeah.
What have you been watching?
Nothing really.
I swear there was something you were watching not that long ago and you were just fanging out for it.
I was probably not rewatching it, but catching up on Outlander.
I swear there was something else.
Yeah, me too. It got me thinking.
I swear there was something else you're watching not that long ago.
But I think Girls and Shameless, the American one.
You love Shameless.
Love those.
We used to watch Parks and Recs back in the day.
Yeah. And what
before
was
we
the
were
other
parents.
One? The Office.
Yeah, I think everyone. That's just a staple for everyone. You're a weirdo if you don't like The Office.
Yeah.
That's a massive red flag if you're not a fan of that. So there you go, mate.
Justin Sauce, do you like Back to the Future movies?
I don't mind them. I'm not like a huge nerd for them. Like I haven't watched one for a long time. They're good movies though, but they're not. I don't like them as much as other people do. Some people just froth for those movies, but they are
Game of
good.
Thrones, that was good.
Game of Thrones, that new one, Knights of the Seven Kingdom was good. That was getting back to like when Game of Thrones was at its peak, and you're like, when an episode would end, you remember Game of Thrones like at its peak, an episode would end, and you'd be like, oh, or that season would end, and you'd just be on a cliffhanger, and you could not wait to watch the next one. That took me back to those areas. That was such a good show.
It's so bad. I'm trying to rattle my brain what I just recently watched.
Yeah, because I remember you talking about it. There's so many you rattle off I haven't even heard of. I've got no idea. You're far more knowledgeable on those than I am. I cannot keep. If I do get spare time, I generally watch docos. I find myself watching a lot of those Netflix docos. Netflix nail their documentaries, if I'm going to be honest. So, speaking of documentaries, actually, I'm going to use this to plug this. How did I not think of this earlier? Now, I put out a Facebook post today. Actually, I need some homework. I want something to do during the off season. So what I'm going to do is use this great platform that I've built over the last 7 years, and we're gonna talk about the foundations and how the Newcastle Knights came to be. Now, I've had an incredible amount of people reach out to me. Shout out to the Morn family. If you don't know Lee Morn, you're gonna know about him by the time I finish this series. With all kinds of stuff, email me clippings and this and that. So I've got a lot of homework at the dissect, but I think it'll be so fun live streaming it with you guys and educating everyone. And I'm hoping, and I'm pretty confident, I should be able to get some stories out of people that have never been told before. That's what I want. I want to tell these stories before they're lost to time. Because, a lot of these fellas that fan of the club, unfortunately, some of them are not with us. They're certainly not getting any younger either. So we've got to document this stuff before it's lost forever. So that's my job. I've tasked myself with that. And then I'll probably do some other little bits, maybe 97, 2001, maybe some other random years, but the great foundations of this club, I need to really educate the younger battler. I know everyone's frothing over Kalen Ponga and Dylan Brown and even Joey Johns, but we're going to go back even further, way back, and understand what this club was built upon. Lay those foundations. That's my task. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. So yes, if you do know anyone or you have anything you can share with me, contacts, clippings, anything, whatever it might be, shoot us an email or DM us. contact@thenighted.com.au. Fire your emails in there or just reach out. Trying to gather a whole cache of information. So there you go.
On Insta, Ads has asked, who of the bottom 8 do you want to face in our qualifying final?
I think Cowboys. I think when they got a team that just had 80 put on them, man, and the next one will be Souths, obviously. They're the two weaker ones. They've had some really big losses as well, but Cowboys the tippity top, particularly if they're going to be away from home and traveling. That scars teams, man. You can't be going into the business end of the season and that not be in the back of your head. That was just unbelievable. The fact that a team is playing finals football after conceding 80 points in a game this year shouldn't be allowed. Peter V'landys should go, look, I'm sorry, guys. You can't dish that up and just expect to play finals. We're going to put a line through you. Sorry.
Justin's asked, if you could turn back time, what players would you have kept and what players would you have gone after?
One that always comes to mind is Joey Tarpanay. I think it was 2016. I think he debuted in 15 for us. And I remember Brownie's second year, remember it got really ugly and he was trying to trade him to the Roosters and all this stuff. We were just starved of any talent. And I think he was just trying to get something for anyone because Joey Tarpanay is an absolute weapon, gun player. And yeah, for a long time we needed one of those big alpha props. I know Clem eventually came and the Safidis came to be, but geez, imagine having like the Saf boys plus Tarpany in the mix. Even Mitchy Barnett when he came in, like, poor. There's some talent there. That's always one I go back to. Recently, when we sort of were taking the piss out of some out of Manly, and we named those blokes that had left Manly, BK was one of them. Had we held on to BK, his final year in 2004, when we had that gun side in 2006, who knows what? You got a guy like Ben Kennedy. He is honestly, he's in our best 13. He is probably he is out the best back row we've ever had play. You got Steve Simpson right behind him. But BK was a weapon. He'd be a guy I wish we hung on to big time. They're two off the top of my head.
Adam said last week was not only the loss we needed, but also they played exactly how we should play and normally do play, taking calculated risks in our own end to get line breaks.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think Joey really summarized that really well. Like, we could be looking at that error count and go, well, look, that's just the price you pay when you play that that really expansive type football. You know, we might be a bit too harsh. Maybe that's just part and parcel. You go, well, we do find ourselves in 6. We do know what, we only got to look back only 12 months ago how utterly boring we were. You would go, that's fine. We can have all those handling errors if it means we're scoring points and we're getting up the ladder. You're 100% right. And Andrew Johns was sort of saying, I think if I'm remembering I think it was only this week or last week when he was talking about Justin Holbrook and the influence he's had and the way we're playing, the brand of football we're playing, and we're throwing those risky passes, and sometimes it pays off. More times than not, it's paying off. It's not like we're trying to play this brand of football and we're not executing. We generally execute pretty well, but you're not going to get it every time, are you? So I guess the thing is once we get more adapted to it, which will come. This is a remarkable thing. We find ourselves in a final spot in the first year under the Justin Holbrook era. So no, good shout, mate. Very, very educated shout, mate. Good for you.
Patty's asked, what's a mad piece of merch or jersey clothing you'd like the Knights to do next year?
Yeah, they have to have that Sevens Heritage shirt. They have to. That's got to be a jersey. It's too sick not to do it. You saw those shirts sell it. I was told they actually sold out in 9 minutes. Gone. Now, shout out to they want to remain anonymous. I can't say who, but I'd like to greatly thank someone who managed to get me one of those flags that were sold at the game, because you can only get them at the game. So I have one sent my way. I put the call out to the battlers, and someone has managed to get one to me. So huge shout out to you. I know you want to remain anonymous, so that's all right. But yeah, so thank you very much. Very much looking forward to that. It's going to be a nice little piece of the bar.
Spoonbags asked, Link, are you planning on covering the history of the Newcastle Rebels, our first footy team from 1908 to 1909, or just the Knights?
I think that'll be something separate because I do have a where is it? Might be this book here. Might be this big old Bible. There might be some stuff in here about the New South Wales Rugby League that might be in, so I've got to dissect it. I think there might be a tale. I might briefly talk about it. Yeah, I think there'll be some cool tales. I'll see what information I'll get back. If I get a lot of juicy stuff and some really interesting facts about the Rebels, I think they deserve their own show. I probably will leave them on their own, to be honest, because I think a lot of people go, well, obviously younger people go, who the hell are the Newcastle Rebels? I do, thankfully, they're the 2008. I've got it. Oh, you can see it up here behind me when we did the horizontal red and white stripes with the black shorts, 2008, in the centenary of league. I probably will do that on their own, if I'm going to be honest. I might briefly touch on it as to start the journey of the Knights, I guess. But yeah.
Well, I said, I love when the players or family members engage with Link. Feels like a big group hug.
Well, this is what makes this club so great. That's why, mate. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. So, look, it's doing this stuff is a lot of fucking work, and it does dictate our lives. And there's a lot of stuff that we sacrifice that a lot of other people would do that we just don't either have the time to do or whatnot. But, I keep saying, if you want an extraordinary life. You got to do extraordinary things, and that's what Lou and I do here. Louise has made great sacrifices since coming on. Like I started the United in 2019, and it's built up and up and up until this point. Now she's jumped on board this year, and it's just gone to a whole nother level. But yeah, you get reminded, you can be in here doing your notes and racing around doing graphics and this and that. And then, you get some stuff happen or people reach out to you, meet people and you just go, wow, I can't believe the impact we have on people's lives. It's just, we come down here in the bar and I just stare down the gun of this camera and seemingly talking only to myself and seeing your comments pop up. But when you go to Vegas or Magic Round, or when we go to Newcastle, it's just like, it's fucking cool. It's really cool. So
I said that last Suncorp game. I was just like, oh, we really do forget and appreciate all the support we get from the battlers. Like,
I think you underestimate it. We never.
We're here in your mum's basement, but then you get out into the real world and
Vossi would hate it. Vossi would fucking hate it. That would be his punishment. It's like, you got to come stand next to me at Newcastle all day. Pal.
Hey, now here's my chance for a shout. Battlers, I'm thinking holiday time. Please send me the best, your best places to stay in Newey. Your girl needs a holiday.
Yeah, someone wants to in the new year.
Christmas time, New Year. Send them through.
Yeah. Let us know. A little trip down to Newey maybe. To kick off the year. Sounds good.
Speaking of, Brenton's asked, if you were to do a trip overseas, what ex or current Knights player would you have travel along?
Oh, I had one similar to this the other day. I think someone was asking me who would I take to Vegas. Look, you'd want to party, and it depends where you're going. It depends where are we heading here. Now, I've done Vegas, so let's scratch that off the list. Where else are we going? I've got an affinity for Hawaii. I've got to go to Hawaii. So it's going to be chilled. It's going to be a bit more of a relaxed holiday. You're going to take Dilbrand and Kalen Ponga. They're going to be my first two. They give me island vibes. They live island vibes. Give me those two boys. They're off the top of my head. Who else would I pick? So I think you can't take like Joey or Maddie. They'd just be too crazy for a place like Hawaii. Just give me those two for now. Skip and our $13 million man, Dylan Brown.
James has asked, if Knights lose here, do you think South will win their last two and get the home final?
I don't. Well, you wouldn't think they're going to beat the Roosters, right? You wouldn't think so unless if the Roosters win, are they guaranteed first or second? I guess it's hard to say. There's so many moving parts, even with the Panthers. Because obviously that loss to the Roosters has really thrown a spanner in the works. See, they got the bloody Titans this week. But then, man, you look, who would have thought the West Tigers would have beat the Roosters? Who would have thought Manly would have, done a job on us? So, man, this, it can be that thing, teams that have nothing to lose. This time of year, you got blokes who are playing for contracts, who want to, finish the season off well. Anything can happen, man. It can, you got some Titans players who go, man, I don't know if I'm going to be here next year. I've got to really rip in. If I'm going to impress Josh Hannay, I need a good couple of performances to finish the year. And, they got more to play for than maybe some South guys who think, we're top 8. Titans have been bit meh. You get caught with your pants down. Like, you don't have to be off by much in this competition for a team that's well below you to absolutely school you. Before you know it, the game's over. So anything can happen, mate. But I would think there's no way the Roosters, I know that's a massive clash. I would suspect the Roosters will get the job done against South. I hope so. I like South, but I'm rooting against them these next 2 weeks.
Carly said a place to stay is Russ Eats Man Cave. We'll have the family, so I don't know if Russ will really want all of us.
I'm sure he
there.
would. We got to still organise. He wants to come here too, so we got to arrange that as well when he's up here next. He's dying to get here, so
that's a good idea, Justin. So Justin said a Battler barbecue at the foreshore might be a great idea.
That sounds like a lovely idea, Justin.
Yeah, nice little picnic.
Beers and barbecues. We'll bring the grain feds with us too.
And Justin on YouTube, this is where I'm thinking Noah's on the beach. We did pass that.
I remember that. Good. Okay. Keep your suggestions coming in. Keep them coming in.
Nelson's Bay or anywhere in the Port Stevens area.
Not a bad shout either. Not a bad shout.
Oh, another one for Port Stevens. Oh, I'm holiday planning.
Mine, after we win the grand final, we'll probably not be in Newcastle for like a fortnight after that. It'll just be a fortnight party. Hey? Could be there earlier than we know. So good stuff.
Carly said, I'm just hoping it's not a fuck's sake Lincoln watch along.
I don't think so, Carly. I think I'm putting this one in perspective. I've prepared myself for this one. So
Just got a few more comments from the battlers for Jesse. Hosea said, shout out to Jesse. Lots of love from the Warriors supporter base.
on your brother. Appreciate that, mate.
And Luke said, bit late to the stream, but much love to Jesse and the family. Battler community is behind you, brother.
Good on you, Luke. Appreciate it. Nah, you'll absolutely love it. He's an absolute diehard fan of this page, and he'll be keenly tuning into this. So I'm sure he'll have the biggest smile on his dial if he's when he tunes into this one. I can guarantee you that. I'm sure we made his day with this one. So what a beautiful note to end the show on. Now, battlers, make sure you tuned in. The Knights watch. Going to be a massive show. Obviously, their last regular season game before we get into the business end of things. Now, we're going to go live on Ruin Hammer's socials simultaneously. So there's going to be a bunch of WAR supporters in there as well. So it's going to be a nice mix. All right, nice friendly crowd. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Be a lot of fun this stream. Very much looking forward to this one. I always love when we play the Wars. It's always good fun. But yeah, so if you haven't done so already, make sure you give this stream a big old thumbs up. It really does help us out. YouTube basically thinks if you haven't given it a thumbs up, you haven't watched it. So make sure you do yourself a favor, do us a favor, please. Hit that thumbs up button. It does help us out. And if you haven't done so already, leave us a 5-star review. I did put a Facebook post out reminding people, and we got some more in. So come on. What are you doing? Leave us a 5-star review. I'm sure even the WAR supporters have dished up a few. So do the right thing. All right, battlers, we're going to get the Adam O'Brien out of here. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you for the Knights watch.